Oh, hey there, this is Dr. Evan Osar. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Integrative Movement Insider. Lots of individuals with shoulder tightness have their clients pulling their shoulder blade directly off their rib cage when they're doing shoulder mobility work. Many of our clients require increased shoulder mobility. That's not the best way to get it. Because what that actually does, and this is why it's not a great pattern for lots of clients, is because it's actually pulling the scapula directly off the rib cage. So you're actually mobilizing the scapular stabilizers that should be holding the scapula back upon the rib cage. So basically what you're doing is you're they're stretching out all those fascial attachments like the lower traps into the lats attachment into the thoracolumbar fascia. They're actually not stretching where, or releasing, that's a better word, they're not releasing where they actually need to release. For most of our clients with limited shoulder range of motion, they may need to lengthen their lats. They may need to lengthen some of the fascial attachments, even though you're not technically stretching fascia, you're actually just creating mechanical changes in the fascia. Where they really need to release is here, underneath, between the scapula and the humerus. They're not getting optimal dissociation or movement of the arm independent of the scapula. And what they're doing, they're just pulling the scapula off the rib cage. So they will feel like, oh, look, I have so much more shoulder mobility. But they don't have true shoulder mobility. Because if you actually check your client's shoulder range of motion, in rotation, not just flexion, because what they're noticing afterwards is the scapula is just coming off the rib cage, so they have more range of motion overhead. It's not more stable range of motion. That's why you want to look at rotation, because if you look at my rotation, now that I just did that, my shoulder internal rotation sucks. It's real bad now, because what I did is the more I stretched out and lengthened where I don't need it, the tighter the rotator cuff will become, the tighter the muscles around the shoulder will become to try to stabilize that glenohumeral joint, because the foundation, the scapulothoracic articulation, isn't as stable as it needs to be. Let me show you an alternative. Grab my trusty Rolga here. So a better way to actually improve shoulder range of motion is to teach your clients, as I mentioned, how to release here. If you're a manual therapist, you'll get in there and release there. And it's really interesting because so many clients I do online consults with, they go to massage therapists or they go to manual therapists, including chiropractors and physical therapists. No one, or I should say very few of them, actually work here. And they have a hard time getting their practitioners to coach them to work back here. And this is where they need release. So we teach them this handy release. With the Rolga, you can use whatever device you have. We just happen to like and prefer the Rolga because it fits very nicely. It's a little large for some of the smaller individuals, but you can use a Rolga smaller one. I don't know what it's called, just a smaller Rolga. Put it in between scapula and humerus. I would do this on the floor, but you can do it right here on the wall. And basically what you're going to do is have your client just pin their scapula, do a contract, and then a slight relax and reach, so that they're actually releasing and lengthening underneath their arm, creating that length, the dissociation they need between the humerus and the scapula. Then you have to teach your client how to stabilize it and use that length, because yes, you've got more length. And let's check out my range of motion. I just did one repetition. That's how quickly it can release. It doesn't take 10 minutes and mashing in there as hard as you possibly can. It just takes your brain focusing on that area and using the right release techniques. Now you have to teach your client how to use that. We will use a quadruped position. So quadruped, all fours on the floor. But again, for our clients that have shoulder or wrist issues, we can do it against the wall. So basically, they're aligned against the wall. And now I'm teaching them how to, again, dissociate, control the scapula on the thorax and dissociate it. So it looks like this. They align the head and neck, hands on the wall, step back, breathe in, breathe out, and lengthen. Not try to see how far they can get the scapula off the rib cage, but actually connect. Wrap the scapula around the rib cage, keep that connection, and then lengthen underneath the arm. You're going to hold and breathe. So that way they're learning how to align and breathe. That's really control as well. They're aligning, they're breathing, and they're controlling that position. So either against the wall or on the floor for our more advanced clients. Even our professional baseball players that are coming in, professional golfers, these are the patterns I'm using with these athletes as well, because it's such an effective strategy. And again, it's about the process you're taking your clients through, not the specific exercises. Understanding functional anatomy will help you with your process. It will help you determine exactly where your clients need to release, and more importantly, what impact the exercises are having on your clients. And that's how you become a go-to specialist, and you help so many clients that are struggling with chronic shoulder issues and even neck issues, because a lot of chronic neck issues are shoulder issues. I was just consulting with a woman last night online, and she had been taught her entire life, squeeze down and back and retract. She had overstretched her upper trapezius. Her shoulder was kind of hanging down like this. She ended up having fusion surgery of her neck. It wasn't a neck issue, or I should say it became a neck issue because of what she was doing with her shoulders, what she was taught by her physical therapist, but what she was taught by her personal trainers as well. So now we're teaching her how to align her rib cage, how to breathe into her rib cage and get her shoulders back up where they belong. And again, when you understand functional anatomy, you can help so many clients, just like my client Sharon, and really help change people's lives, because this information will change clients' lives if they've been struggling with chronic shoulder issues, chronic neck issues, as well as they just want to perform at their best. If you're looking for more information and you enjoyed this information, check out the brand new series we just completed of 2 Anatomy Geeks. Jill and I covered the functional anatomy. We covered the functional biomechanics of the shoulder, making it real simple so you understand where, why, and how the shoulder works. Where and why. How the shoulder works, so that you know where and how to do the most appropriate releases, as well as use the most appropriate corrective exercises. I'm going to put the link in the bio. It should be there. I'm going to put it right after I get off this video. So if you're interested, it's a 6-hour done for you course. It's already completed, where we've applied for CCs, but more importantly, you're going to walk away with understanding functional anatomy and being able to use and apply that functional anatomy to help your current clients with chronic shoulder issues. And if you have chronic shoulder issues, it may even apply to your situation as well, because I consult with a lot of fitness professionals and they have many of these same issues as well. So this is Dr. Evan Osar with Integrative Movement Insider. Hope you enjoyed this. Share it with your friends, your like-minded friends who will benefit from this information. I look forward to seeing you in 2 Anatomy Geeks, Anatomy of Common Orthopedic Issues of the Shoulders. Make it a great day. Go out there and lead your community. Be that resource they need. Be that unifying individual that brings people together and really helps them perform at their best. Take care.